Everybody, this is your Alchemist 2, and I'm back again with another book review. I just recently read Gandolfini, The Real Man Who Made Tony Soprano. This was written by Dan Bischoff. And I had no idea that a biography had actually been written about Jim. And Jim didn't always go by Jim. He was a rather private man who didn't like people delving into his Italian heritage. It was almost like a bone of contention with him, something that stuck in his craw. And he didn't like having it brought up in any kind of interviews. And I thought, how odd, because usually when you talk to people, most Italian Americans are very proud of where they came from, and family is everything. I know this well because I have friends who are Italian, and it's not stereotype, it's true. But he just didn't like mentioning it and just would rather not speak of it. And he also suffered from what's known as the Jersey curse. And the rumor of the Jersey curse says guys from Jersey, they don't get a break for anything. And if you're born in Jersey, you might as well, forget about it. Forget about it, as they say. But it doesn't account for nothing, as the book said. And I thought, wow. I mean, I didn't even know that there was a Jersey curse until I read this book. And I always had been under the impression that Jersey stinks. Sorry, people from Jersey. I only got to go into Jersey once, and I didn't really get a good impression of the place when we did. We were going into Alexandria, Virginia. So, still don't have a very good impression of the place, and can't really make an impression based on a wrong turn. That was a long time ago when I was 13. But anyway, long story short, this was a really good book. If you're a fan of Gandolfini's work, just what he's done and just the contribution he made to pop culture is just phenomenal. He really didn't think that he would become so large, and he got himself into some trouble like AJ did. It was in the news. It was art imitating life. People press just ate it up, and he had some marital difficulties, but he was a very good guy. He was like a lot of the crew in the Sopranos. They would go out and they would do charity work, and he did a semi-autobiography memoir. It was called Not Fade Away, and he helped people back from Afghanistan and Iraq and Syria, and he wanted to outreach. He wanted to assist those soldiers who had gone through PTSD, and he never showed on camera. He was always hugging them off side camera. He was a very humble person, but he wanted to do so much for those wounded warriors, and he became a big proponent of that group, a charitable organization. And I never knew that. I thought, wow. I mean, I had a feeling that he was an altruist, and he just wanted to do what he could with his fame, and he did, and the rest of the crew did too. They had big hearts, and they wanted to go out and improve the community and just make lives a little bit easier. They even helped get DVDs overseas, and they were a hot commodity over there. There were some big fans of The Sopranos. James actually turned down some roles. I was surprised. He was going to be in Shark Tale, but of course De Niro took the role, and it's famous for that. And James felt it was too much art imitating life. And again, I use that phrase, but it was very unexpected how he died, because he was in Italy with his son, Matthew, and that was the only time that he ever got out of Jersey. I mean, he never left. He just stayed home with everybody else, and he just wanted to be close to his family and friends. I mean, I don't see anything wrong with that. He just he wanted the fame, but when he had it, it's almost like too much of a good thing and too good to be true. And you know the saying, when something's too good to be true, you know it's a trap. But or you realize you're going to be deceived and it's going to end up very badly. But it's just he was brilliant. I think that he was just an outstanding actor. I got to see The Drop before Enough Said. Enough Said is actually one of my favorite romantic comedies. It's very underrated, and I've seen everything that he's been involved in. I thought, wow, he's a real method actor, and I'm thinking that the role of Tony actually took quite a toll on him, and he gained weight really fast. So I'm thinking he had a lot of complications before he died, because he was only in his 40s or 50s. I think his 50s. He was young. It was sad when I heard. I cried because I felt like he was a family member, just like a lot of people I've come to admire. And I thought, oh, I'll never get his autograph now, and there's not going to be a Sopranos movie, because without James Gandolfini, it can't be done. Even with CGI, I highly doubt it, because the mannerisms, the little micro cues, his delivery, he's so incredible. It takes your breath away. I have to admire him, and I still miss him. I find it hard to actually watch The Sopranos, realizing that my favorite person, I feel like he's my surrogate dad. I know this sounds so stupid, but I feel like my surrogate daddy's gone. And a lot of people, really believe that too. And even when he died, Chris Christie mourned him and said a true son of Jersey was lost. And it's true, because like the book says, he never really departed from his hometown. And he started off just very humbly from a family of two sisters. I think it was two sisters. And he was trying to jockey for kind of getting noticed by his mother and making a name for himself. He started out with a seltzer delivery company called Gimme Seltzer. Ha! I thought that's very clever. It was owned by a Jewish man. Of course, with the humor, you could see why it was a very Jewish company. Yeah, because they do very punny things like that. Very clever too. But he started off just doing odd jobs and doing bit parts and plays, and roughhousing, getting into trouble, just like most rough and tumble guys do. And then he finally got his big break after he got into a fight, and it gave him the scar that actually landed him the role as Tony, believe it or not. I forget with whom he was fighting, but the book talks about it. But it's just really interesting, his life, although short-lived, it really impacted our culture quite a bit. And like I said, there's never going to be another Tony Soprano, but a lot of people mistook him, and I'm thinking it's just like sort of with Leonard Nimoy when he delved into the role of Spock. He couldn't separate fantasy from reality, and it kind of distanced him from his family a little bit, but beyond that, he had just a heart of gold, and he just wanted to make a difference in the world. And I think he did. I think he really did with the charity. I don't know if the Sopranos charity still does. I bet you anything that they still have tours for the big people like me. I'm still a Sopranos fan, still to this day. And I really want to go. I want to go and visit and just say hey and check it out and go see the places where it was filmed, and kind of hop over to Italy. And I know I said I never would go to Sicily, but I lied. I'm going to go straight to Palermo. But I know I shouldn't, because they say don't go to Palermo. But I know that's the heart of where mafia actually started. But my uncle, my Zio Giovanni, he's not related to me by by blood, but he's related to me by marriage, and he is genuine. And I feel every bit as Italian as he is, and I don't know why, but I have such a rapport with him, and we get along really well. He's just an unbelievable fountain of information and energy. But yeah, that's one reason I want to go at some point in time, and I will. It's on my bucket list. But this was a really good book. Extremely well written, just very poignant and tragic and heartbreaking in certain respects. But he still was your typical family man, just wanting to do right by his son and his wife. Well, his first wife. I don't know if he ever remarried. I don't recall if the book said or not, but